try to do a little logging. That's if the tractor will start. Definitely no guarantees in that since it's been, below 30 for the last 3 days. 30 degrees now in the shade. It's probably 38 outside, but probably still in the 20s in here. This is unheated, so give her a try and see what happens. Battery's about gone. Try not to use this very much. Start on. Lost battery connection. That's a first in a long time. Really? Bet they need to be cleaned because they're pretty tight. Okay, we're hooked up, tongs are on it. Let's see here. Let's see if I like this. Well, so far so good. Looks like everything's froze together maybe. I'll take my arm off of the tractor so we're not shaking. I'll try to get y'all in a spot and y'all can watch and see what happens. Too far back on it.
I can see there's pros and cons having the scraper blade on the back. One of the cons is it's hanging stuff. Kind of thought about that, and that's the issue I'm having with it. It is a nice hookup, but it is hanging things. It's far. I'm hooked up far enough back. Puts enough weight on the back of the tractor when I've got the lift all the way up that even in this little bit of snow melt, I'm not having a whole lot of trouble pulling them. Rearing up a little bit, but nothing that you can't overcome so far. That was the butt log on that little red oak, so that's going to be the only one that I won't have any issues with. I may, on the rest of them, I'll be able to back down to this next log here and get it straight back to it pretty much. This poplar top being laying over it, it's kind of making things aggravating. I can't remember how many logs I cut off. There's several. It gets down, there's some pretty small logs in there on the end. Didn't plan on cutting this red oak, just the poplar that I was cutting didn't quite fall the way I wanted it to. Lodged up in this little red oak, so it had to come down too. But let's see if we can't get this pulled out. All right, ready to lift up just a hair. A little bit of the log. Try this little low gear. A little bit of throttle. See what we got. Well, we said this one wouldn't be an issue. Let's see here. Why are we not pulling that little bitty log? I guess it's froze to the ground, but it sure ain't pulling it. Lock the differential in. Ooh. Watching the differential lock. We're getting a bite now. Front tires are just optional. Yeah. Hadn't even budged it much. So it froze. Alright. We're out of our hairy predicament. Couldn't really film that and do everything I needed to do. But as you can see, the log is loose. Just stuck to the ground. Once it popped loose, we went. So I got that first 10 feet out of the way with magic. Here we go for the rest of it. I hate driving over a lot of trees. First off, it's hard on the tractor. And it's hard on your timber. So, pick this little spot out here, and I've been avoiding this little maple that the exhaust is hung on. And sacrificing a little beech and hickory saplings. Not really too worried about them. This is the road that I had off into the woods. It's grown back up with saplings again. Logs back in here 2 or 3 years ago, so this is stuff is growing back. But I've really tried to not tear my other timber up. I don't have a whole lot of it. I got a lot of woods, but I don't have a lot of timber. We're back out here to the road. Snow's melting, get a little muddy on top, but should be okay. Got the log up high enough that I'm not going to get a lot of dirt in it. Butter dogs back there. Make sure we're doing this right. got this guy up here to the mill. Over here, you can see when you take the weight off your tongs, they're loose. Flip them over like that, done. So, try to get this one guy squared away. Try to do this one-handed. Butter's not going to help. She's bad about that. And as you see, I've got the little end at the front of the mill. So my log's already ready to go. Can hook. And this isn't working, and I'll tell you why. My uncle put a new handle in this cant hook, I don't know, a few months ago, because he was the one that broke the handle out of the cant hook, and he's got the head not in relation with the pitch. So, you know, this part here is too far back down on the handle, and so as you can see, when you go to get you a bite on it, you know, it's a smaller cant hook, but it ought to roll this small log around. So we got to do a little surgery on this, but probably not going to be able to roll a log and film this. All right, the other part of this was the good old Harbor Freight sawmill. And guess what? It's just like every other Harbor Freight sawmill you'll find on YouTube. Pretty much. I didn't have the instructions to put it together. And one thing that we got wrong with it, and I haven't changed it around because we're fixing to change the tracks out to 3x3 by 20 foot angle iron, so I haven't changed them around. But the dogs on the bunks there go to the other side. Didn't think about it at the time when we set it up, so now when it saws, of course the blade cuts that direction, so the log wants to go that direction. Well, I'm clamping it this direction. Haven't had much of an issue with it. A little bit, not much. Know it's there. Another thing it does, it seems to put a lot more sawdust on the track on this side because you're sawing all the way over here. Other than that, not really any issues with it. For the price, it's a good mill. Saw is really good lumber. Took off a little bit of getting used to, a few odds and ends that you have to figure out. I had to replace the lift cables on it. Other than that, I've had very little issues with it. It's the same issue everybody has, keeping the track aligned where it's sectioned. A little bit of an issue there. Not much. Once the ground kind of got settled underneath it, and this was temporary, knew it was temporary, but once the ground got settled, I haven't had any issues with the track twisting. It's just wanting to turn a little bit to the right. You can get it set up perfect, drop a big log on it, it's back to the way it was, but it's not affecting the cut. I've seen a lot of people struggle with their mills, watching them cut in softwoods at that, and I haven't had hardly any issues with it. Been through 5 or 6 blades now, several hundred board feet been sawed with it. This is one pile of slabs here that's been cut on for all winter, one truckload of slabs has already came out from down here. We've been sawing with it since, I think, August. It's now January, so it's a good investment. I bought it a couple of years ago and it just sat around mothballed. But I'll make a couple videos using it, laying out some dimensional lumber, and go from there. So appreciate y'all, and I'll try to get you another video as soon as I can.